They're acting normal, they're texting, they're talking, they're showing up, but something about them feels different now. And you can't explain why. There's no obvious distance, no dramatic shift, no clear red flag. Yet when you're around them, your body feels it. The laughter sounds the same, but it doesn't land the same. The words are kind, but they don't feel as warm. The presence is there, but the closeness feels slightly out of reach. And that's what's haunting you. Because if they were cold, you could react. If they were distant, you could confront it. If they pulled away, you could name it. But they didn't. They stayed, just different enough to make you question yourself. So now you're stuck in that quiet space between everything's fine and something's wrong. And the scariest part? You don't know if it's real, or if you're slowly becoming insecure because you sense something they haven't admitted. Stay with me, because we're going to unpack why someone can act completely normal on the surface while emotionally shifting underneath, and why your intuition reacts before your mind understands it. 1. The first time your body noticed. It didn't start with a thought. It started with a feeling, a tiny hesitation in your chest, a small pause before you responded, a strange awareness that something felt slightly unfamiliar. They were smiling. They were responding. They were present. But your nervous system wasn't relaxed the way it used to be. From the outside, everything looked fine. They still said good morning. They still asked about your day. They still sat next to you. But connection isn't measured in actions alone. It's measured in energy. And the energy feels thinner now, less grounded, less intentional, less emotionally invested. You find yourself watching them more closely, listening to their tone more carefully, trying to catch what changed. But nothing obvious appears. That's what makes it destabilizing. When someone turns cold, you can react. When someone argues, you can address it. But when someone stays normal while something invisible shifts, you start questioning your own perception. Am I imagining this? Why do I feel uneasy? Why doesn't this feel the same anymore? That quiet doubt is where emotional anxiety begins. 2. Why people change internally before they change externally. Emotional shifts happen quietly. Long before someone stops texting, long before they pull away physically, long before there's a visible problem. Detachment begins internally. It starts as a thought they don't voice, a doubt they don't share, a feeling they don't fully process. Instead of communicating it, they continue behaving the same. Because routine is easier than confrontation. Normal is easier than honesty. Familiar is easier than uncomfortable truth. So they keep showing up. But their presence feels slightly reduced. Their curiosity feels softer. Their emotional depth feels guarded. They're still there, just not fully there. And your intuition catches that difference instantly, not because you're paranoid, but because when you've been emotionally connected to someone, you become calibrated to their rhythm. So when that rhythm shifts, even subtly, your body reacts before your logic can explain it. When behavior stays normal but energy changes, it creates internal conflict. Your eyes see consistency. Your heart feels distance. And that conflict is exhausting. 3. When you start adjusting yourself. At first, you don't confront them. You adjust yourself. You become slightly softer, slightly more understanding, slightly less expressive about your needs. You tell yourself, maybe they're stressed. Maybe I'm expecting too much. Maybe I just need to be more patient. So you try harder, but in subtle ways. You initiate more conversations. You send the thoughtful text first. You become the emotional stabilizer. And the scary part, they don't resist it. When one person compensates, the other often relaxes into the imbalance. Without realizing it, you start carrying more of the connection, more reassurance, more effort, more emotional awareness. Meanwhile, they continue acting normal, but normal now means you're doing more to keep things steady, and slowly you feel tired. Not because you don't care, But because you feel like you're holding something that used to hold itself, that's when resentment begins to whisper, "Why does this feel heavier now?" 4. When you realize you've changed too, one day it hits you. It's not just that they feel different. You do too. You're not as relaxed as you used to be. You're not as open. You don't speak as freely without calculating how it will land. You hesitate before sharing something vulnerable. You reread your messages before sending them. You analyze their reactions in real time. That wasn't you before. Before, it flowed. Before, you felt chosen without needing proof. 4. When you realize you've changed too, one day it hits you. It's not just that they feel different. You do too. You're not as relaxed as you used to be. You're not as open. You don't speak as freely without calculating how it will land. You hesitate before sharing something vulnerable. You reread your messages before sending them. You analyze their reactions in real time. That wasn't you before. Before, it flowed. Before, you felt chosen without needing proof. Before, you didn't feel like you had to measure yourself. But now there's caution, and caution in a once safe space feels like loss. You start missing the version of yourself that felt secure around them. The version that didn't question tone shifts, didn't need constant reassurance, didn't feel emotionally on edge. Here's the hard truth. When someone's energy changes and they don't address it, you slowly begin shrinking to maintain peace. Not dramatically, not visibly, just quietly. And that quiet shrinking is your biggest clue. 5. When normal is no longer enough. At some point, you stop trying to decode it, not because you stopped caring, but because you're tired of feeling like the only one noticing. They still act normal, but normal without emotional depth feels lonely. Normal without reassurance feels uncertain. Normal without warmth feels distant. Normal without intention feels temporary. That's when you realize something important. Consistency isn't the same as connection. Someone can show up every day and still not be emotionally present. Someone can say all the right words and still not feel fully invested. The real question isn't, are they behaving badly? The real question is, does this connection still feel mutual? Because love isn't supposed to feel like quiet confusion. If you're the only one adjusting, the only one sensing, the only one trying to maintain emotional balance, then the shift isn't imaginary, it's imbalance. And imbalance left unspoken slowly becomes detachment. You don't need dramatic proof to honor what you feel. If something about them feels different, that feeling deserves attention, not dismissal. Take a breath. You are not overthinking. You are not too sensitive. You are not creating problems where none exist. You are responding to energy, and your nervous system doesn't react to nothing. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit that normal is no longer fulfilling. Sometimes protecting your peace means acknowledging the shift, even if no one announced it. You deserve presence that feels safe. You deserve effort that feels mutual. You deserve connection that doesn't make you question yourself. If this felt personal, that's because it is. If you've ever sensed a shift that no one else could see, don't ignore it. Your intuition isn't dramatic, it's protective. Comment, "I felt it," if you've experienced this quiet change, like this to affirm that you trust your inner voice, and subscribe for deeper conversations about emotional awareness, relationships, and protecting your peace, because when something feels different, it usually is. And you deserve a connection that feels safe, mutual, and real. Today, you finally listened. If you're ready to choose peace, comment, "I choose myself." Like this video if you're done questioning your sensitivity. Subscribe if you want reminders that love should feel safe, steady, and whole, not something you recover from. You're not late. You're right on time.